What's going on? I'm doing a quick edition of All In with Nate with the schedule release. I've seen a couple of people leak certain things about the Falcon schedule. We finally about to find out what the schedule is. Some of y'all that's gonna be tuned in. I will go over other teams as well. I'm not just gonna go over the Falcons. So, but before I get into it, I do want to see this the Falcons did like a ATL like Mario Kart style release. So I'm gonna bring it up on the stream real quick. Give me 1 second. But shout out to y'all that's tuned in. Katie, what's up, my boy? Let me bring this up on the stream real quick. Give me 1 second. I want to see this thing. I seen a preview of it on IG, but I have not looked at the official schedule just yet. Okay, let me see. Is it coming up yet? I think you showed the advertisement before, so let me try to go full screen with this one. So this is an official one from the Falcon website. AJ, what's up, my boy? Let's see. They said, is this like a real thing? Oh, they did like a go-kart style. Daz, what's up, my boy? Oh, brother. Okay, let me see what this is supposed to be. See if it got sound to it. It does. Let's see what Real, what's up, man? So this is the Atlanta Falcons release graphic. I'm intrigued to see how they're gonna do this. Like you got the Panthers at the next game. The Dolphins. Ooh, graphic though. Got the Rams showing up.
UAV online.
They play San Fran. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. We'll play Buffalo. Really trying to figure
Oh my God!
Yeah, it do look close. I haven't got a chance to see the schedule. I don't know why they're not showing the full, but I am gonna put up the schedule. So we do have week 5 fun? Gotcha at the end. Okay, so you've seen the full video. Okay, so here we go. This is pretty cool. Mario Kart edition. Here's the official schedule. Let me pause this real quick. Or I may go to the full thing. So, okay. Here is the official schedule. So, week 1 is going to be at home against Tampa Bay, as we are kind of aware of. Looking like week 2 is going to be against. So, week 2 is the Minnesota game. It's going to be a night game. Week 3 is Carolina. Week 4 is week 5 bye week is horrible. I don't like that week 5 bye week. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I want to go to the full schedule. Let's see. Yeah, we got week 5 bye, not 11. I don't think it's the thing I don't like about that is why are we having such a early bye week and not go to the bye after the Berlin game? That's so stupid to me. Ryan, what's up, man? But this is the breakdown of this schedule for the Falcons. I'm gonna go to the actual schedule, and we'll go one by one. I'm sure they got it up here now. They gotta have it. So let me get to it real quick. That Mario Kart edition was pretty cool though that they did. So they gotta have the schedule. Okay. So skip past the preseason. We don't care about that. Well, actually, let me see. So we play the Lions in preseason at home. We got the Titans in preseason at home, and we go to Dallas August 22nd. That's the last preseason game. So, okay, as we already were aware, week 1, the Falcons are going to be hosting the Buccaneers at home. That's a very interesting game to jump out the gate with. You swept them last year, but both games were very close last season for the Falcons. The Falcons pulled them off, but they were very close. Week 2, we got the Vikings on Sunday Night Football in Minnesota. That's going to be a tough game. That's their home opener. So very intrigued to see how that's going to play out. Week 3, we got the Carolina Panthers at Carolina. That's a 1 o'clock start. So 2 of the first 3 games are on the road. Going down to week number 4, we got the Commanders at home. That's going to be a regular 1 o'clock CBS game. I actually was shocked because I heard a rumor that game was going to be at 4:25. But like that game is going to stay at 1 o'clock. As of now, we got a week 5 bye week, which I absolutely do not agree with. So the Falcons have back-to-back primetime games after the bye week. Week 6, they got the Bills. So the Falcons game is at 7:15 that day. So the reason that the game is at 7:15 is going to be 2 Monday night games. I know we're going to find out who's the other team probably when we go to the full schedule, but that game is at 7:15. Man, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'll just hope Falcon fans will show up on time because a 7:15 start in Atlanta on a weekday is not good. But that's going to be an interesting ball game right there against Josh Allen and company. I think that team's going to be a very tough out in the AFC this year. Week 7 is on the road. Again, our second Sunday night football game on the road at San Francisco. That's a Sunday night game on NBC. Week 8, we got the Dolphins at home. That's a 1 o'clock start. It's another CBS game. Week 9, you got the Patriots at New England. That's November the 2nd, 1 o'clock start. On the 10th, we got the Colts that's the Berlin game. So that's a 9:30 start. So the Berlin game is at 9:30, and I don't agree with the fact that they're playing a game right after this. So November 16th at 1 o'clock is going to be the game at home against the Carolina Panthers as the rematch with Bryce Young. Week 12 look like that game is going to be a 4:25 start against the New Orleans Saints at New Orleans. So I'm actually shocked that game is at 4:25 and not the Commanders game. So we'll see how that plays out. Week 13, we got the Jets at home. We got the Jets in New York. That's a 1 o'clock start in week 13. Week 14, we got the Seattle Seahawks in Atlanta. That's a 1 o'clock start. We turn around and played the Bucks on Amazon Prime. It's a Thursday night game. Again, we played them in a thriller last year in Atlanta. We won in overtime. So we get in a rematch with these guys in Tampa, week 15. Week 16, we go to Arizona. It's a 4 o'clock start. Of course, they're out in the West Coast, so that's a 1 o'clock start for them. Week 17, you got the Rams. That's a Monday night 8:15 start. And then week 18, of course, that'll probably be the 6th or the 7th. So the Saints is the last game of the season. My early thoughts y'all comment in the chat if you want to on this one. I'm going to be honest. I noticed people said that the Falcons had a pretty easy schedule, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. We got a lot to prove in the first 6 to 7 weeks because even after the Tampa Bay game, playing Minnesota week 2 is a very tough ask for a team that was in the playoffs last year. So you got the NFC South champs week 1. You got the Vikings who won 14 games last season. You still got another road game against Carolina. You got the Commanders and the Bills back-to-back at home in Atlanta. So you're going to get a lot of your tough games out the way early because that Commanders and that Bills game is going to tell me a lot about where we are at that point in the season. The San Francisco game in San Francisco, I'm never going to sleep on the 49ers at home. It's a night game, so we got to see what happens with that one. Let's see. What's going on, Jordan? Jordan said checking in. Slime and Sean Gate. What's going on? Said that Tampa, Minnesota Bills and Washington a test. Yes, it is. We had a similar start last year with the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Eagles early in the season. So the Falcons are definitely being battle tested this early in the season out the gate. So after that first 7 weeks, you get the Dolphins, you get the Patriots, you get the Colts. And of course, the Patriots and the Colts are kind of in that rebuild stage at the moment. So you may be you need to start. You need to get, to me, the Falcons need to go at least 500 in the first 6 to 7 weeks, because those 4 teams that you have, you playing 2 of the last 4 teams that was in the AFC and NFC championship game last season. So Falcons are going to have their hands full low key. But after that, you get to start playing a little more. Your schedule starts to ease up, but again, there's the NFL, so you never know what surprise team will pop up. Let's see. Depending on the quarterback and wide receiver scenario, San Francisco, I think it really depends on that scenario, because again, their defense, I don't sleep on that San Francisco defense in a night game out on the road. So it's going to be interesting for the Falcons. I'm seeing a lot of, one thing I'm starting to see, they're giving us a lot of props to get ready to get this season started for sure. Let's see. So if you notice, the Falcons got a lot of road games in November. They got the Patriots. They go to Berlin. They got the Panthers at home, but then you got the Saints and the Jets. So you got, in the month of November, you got 4 out of 6 week stretch. You're going to be on the road. So it's going to be intriguing to see that. This should be swept this year. I hope so. That team got a lot. They got their fits. But in December, now this is the one thing I do like about the schedule. You get the Seahawks at home on December the 7th. Good. That's a good 1 o'clock start. After the Bucks and the Cardinals are on the road, you got the Rams at home and you got the Saints at home. So the Falcons, in comparison to last year, they had a couple of home games down the stretch, but you start in that playoff run. If you're like neck and neck with the Buccaneers, like we've been the last couple of years for the NFC South, these are home games that you want to have late in the season to start racking your wins up down the stretch. Let's see. Checking in, Derek Carr retired. Saints fans have pneumonia. I do not understand why he didn't retire before the draft. That was kind of dumb on his part. He actually put the Saints in a rough spot. Let's see. He said, I give the schedule a B-. The schedule, yeah, I can agree with this grade, because the top half of this Falcon schedule will be the one half that we'll be able to see, okay, can you get if the Falcons can go 3-3 or 4-2 in the first 6 weeks, you set yourself up for that back half of the season. You got to at least be around 500, because there's some tough games that we got. Going to Minnesota is not easy. Getting Buffalo, whether it was here or even at Buffalo, is not going to be easy. So we'll be intrigued to see how this thing plays out. I'm going to I want to pull up some of the other schedules, but I did want to start with the Falcons at first. But the Falcons got a very interesting schedule that first half of the season. So let me see, can I pull up the Monday? I want to pull up the Monday Night Football schedule. And if you tune in and you want to see what your team is looking like, their schedule, the strength of schedule, you are welcome to let me know. I will gladly bring it up on here. Let me go. I'm going to bring up the did they update it on here? Let me see if they updated the Monday Night Football schedule, because I think with the schedule just dropping, they haven't put a whole bunch of games up here. So let me see real quick. I want to bring it up and show it to everyone. I may start with the Sunday night games first. But matter of fact, let me go to the week. I want to see the week 1 schedule so we can see what we're getting out the gate from everybody. Let me bring this back up on the screen. Right. We don't know how the teams will look. So it's a strange way to kind of put it, because we could see a surprise team. Like, nobody saw the Broncos coming last year, or the Vikings coming last year. We thought those two teams were going to have a down year. So now we're going to be intrigued to see how it plays out going into this season. Then the Vikings, we're getting them kind of early. We don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be like. We don't know if it's going to be J.J. McCarthy, if it's going to be, even potentially Aaron Rodgers. We don't know. We'll see. But let me go to that first week. I know the first week, we thought it was a leak on social media earlier, but I don't believe that was the one. So they haven't put it up here. I got to go to NFL.com because ESPN has not updated it yet. So let me go back to this. But yeah, the one thing that I am intrigued to see, the Falcons have a lot of primetime games. We had 5 last year, and we got a couple of Monday night games this year. So we've actually played pretty good on primetime last year. I mean, we took the Chiefs down to the wire. We beat the Eagles on the road. So, it's some good games. Let's see. Tampa Bay, let's get it. I'll bring y'all schedule up too. Yeah. You're right. It's just definitely, we're gonna be intrigued to see how this sets up. I gotta get to NFL Network because it's on. But I haven't even looked at everyone else's schedule. But I do know we've been seeing leaks all day long. So okay, I got NFL.com up. Checking in, still a game. Don't disrespect the plug. He was close to pretty accurate, but I did know a couple of games kind of got switched over at the end. So some of the leaks were pretty good. Back-to-back Monday night and Sunday night games. Yeah, listen. This young team about to get tested early, and you got to see if they're going to be ready. So I have a question. So since the Browns took 2 quarterbacks, would that mean Kirk is benched now? I have said from even before the draft that Kirk Cousins could potentially be off the roster at some point in the season. I think somebody's going to probably need to get desperate and find a quarterback. You never know who could get injured or not. So I'm not going to be too quick to say that he'll be our backup. I don't think he's going to be our backup week 1, but we'll see what happens. Still a long stretch. AJ said, nah, keep him. I mean, that's not a bad option either at this point. Let's go to the back to the schedule. Okay, so here's the official week 1 schedule. So we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. Of course, we all knew that game was a lock-in. The Chiefs and Chargers are the Friday night game in Brazil. Of course, y'all know Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Browns, Dolphins, Colts, Panthers, Jaguars. Let's see. Raiders, Patriots, Cardinals, Saints, Steelers, Jets. Giants, Commanders, Titans, Broncos, Niners, Seahawks. That's a lot of divisional games in the first week of the season. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going to go. Niners, Seahawks, Lions, Packers, Texans, Rams. The nightcap is pretty good. The Ravens and the Bills get the AFC divisional round rematch of the Vikings and the Bears. This some good week 1 games. Let's see. AJ said, nah, keep them. Might as well keep him. Have you seen who? I mean, we got to give him an opportunity, though. We got to give him an opportunity to. I think we picked up what's his name from Eastern State. Picked him up. I don't think Emory Jones made the roster. Raiders 7-8 wins. Let's go look at y'all's schedule. Let's look at y'all's schedule. I haven't seen the team just yet. Let me see. I haven't seen the schedule for the Raiders just yet. So let's go to it. Let's touch on y'all's schedule. Hold on, before I get there, that's y'all problem. I always want to get listen, we got our QB1. I don't care who backs him up at this point, but we got our QB1 now. Another question, Nate, is Penix ready? I think he will be ready. I think he showed us some. Now he's gonna go through some. He's gonna go through some of his growing pains because this is his first season as a starter. But I do like the potential that he has on this roster. And Green Bay, Green Bay Detroit is definitely gonna be a great week 1 game. I'm intrigued to see how that game is gonna go. Let me bring up AP. I see you said about the Raiders. Let's get to y'all's schedule real quick. Let me go to it. All right, here go the Raiders schedule. So look like, okay. So the Raiders, they open up on the road at New England. They got the Chargers at home week 2. They get the Commanders week 3. They got the Bears week 4. They got at Indy week 5. They got the Titans week 6. They got the Chiefs week 7. They got a bye. They got the Jags week 9. They got the Broncos. Look like it's going to be that might be a Thursday night football game. It is. Then they got the Cowboys. Like that's a Monday. Is that a Monday night game? Yeah, it's a Monday night game. Then they got the Browns. They get the Chargers. They got the Broncos. They get the Eagles. It's gonna be a 1 o'clock. Is that a 1 o'clock start? Oh no, that's the time out there. I just realized that. They got the Texans, the Giants, and the Chiefs. So, chat, y'all can chime in on this one too. I gotta see what the Raiders look like before I can say what their schedules, what they're gonna be. Can they win 7 to 8 games? I gotta see the Raiders roster because I think the Raiders had a lot of they got a lot that they gotta revamp this season. I don't know if they're ready for the rest of their division, so I'm not sure. I can't go as far as saying 7 to 8 wins right now. They're one of the wait and see teams, honestly, in Vegas. Okay, Duke Chicken in said the Giants going 11-6. Tyron, what's going on, bro? Big time Chiefs fan. He said they got a tough division. They got to get it past the AFC West defense. Right, I agree. That's the thing. The schedule's not hard, but the problem is the Raiders still are really at a talent deficiency. The Jets 9-8. I mean, it's possible. Think Shedeur starts this year. Hurts be looking good in camp. It's very possible that he starts because there's no set QB1 in Cleveland, so I'm not going to count that he can't start this season. He said the Giants 11-6 in that division. Jackson Dart's not a good quarterback. What drugs are you on? Hey, man, he believe in his team, man. He believe in his team, man. Y'all cut him some slack. Let's see. I'm going to go to the while we're on the topic of the teams from last season, let's go to the Eagles real quick. Let me go to the Eagles schedule and see what the defending Super Bowl champs are looking like going into this season. Let me see if ESPN.com has updated them yet. ESPN is slipping kind of right now. Yeah, they slipping. They still got a few games up there. Let's go to the Eagles site. Look at they should have taken Shedeur. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that option either. Okay, let's go back to the screen. Let's see what the defending Super Bowl champions are going to be dealing with to start the season. Okay, let's go to, they did theirs in bold. I'm glad they did it like this. Okay, so week 1, of course, they got the night game against the Dallas Cowboys at home. Week 2 at Kansas City. That's a very interesting game. Week 3, they got the Rams at home, 1 o'clock start. They got the Buccaneers at Tampa. That's a 1 o'clock start. They go to Denver. They got Denver at home. The first 5 weeks is a pretty tough stretch for the Eagles. Week 6, they got the Giants. That's a Thursday night game. They got the Vikings at Minnesota. They got the Giants again. They get the Giants 2 and 3 weeks. Then they got a bye week. They go to Green Bay. They got the Lions at home. They get this Cowboys at Dallas. They got a home game against the Bears. That's a Friday. That's a Black Friday game. They go to the Chargers. They got the Raiders at home. They got the Commanders. This schedule is kind of tough for the Eagles. The roster's there, though. I'm not going to sleep on the Eagles as a roster, but this is a pretty tough schedule for a team coming off winning the Super Bowl, for sure. Let's see. The Jets got Justin Fields. We got to watch him. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I'm intrigued to see how he's going to play out there. Russell Sticky. Listen, maybe it's just me. I actually can tolerate a Russell Wilson in a Giants uniform for this season because what you want to do is be able to see what your young talent can do with a quarterback that's probably a game manager at this point. Because, I mean, he wasn't great in Pittsburgh, but he was okay. So, I mean, I guess we got to see what happens with that situation. AJ says, shout out AJ Brown, Eagles wide receiver. Yes, sir. But yeah, the Eagles got a pretty tough schedule. That start, the Cowboys, of course, the Cowboys are at home. Then they got at Kansas City, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Broncos. They got a lot of very tough games. And guess what? when you're coming off winning the when you come off winning the Super Bowl, you got 17 Super Bowls to play. I still think the Eagles are going to be a really good team, but hey, they're going to have their hands full this season. He said, "Come on, listen, you cannot see that they got the Steelers to the playoffs. The Steelers went freaking 9-8 and got to the postseason. Yeah, at that point, they brought in Jameis Winston, they brought in Russell Wilson. They're not going to be a great football team. We know this. But, I mean, you got to go with a veteran for right now. And who knows? They could be trying to wait and potentially see what Jackson Dart do at some point. So, we'll see what happens with that situation in New York. But this is the Eagles schedule. How do y'all feel for y'all that's tuned in? What are y'all looking at? When you look at this schedule, how do you feel about the Eagles' record when you look at this schedule? We know the Steelers are the team of mediocrity. We know this already. But yeah, how are y'all feeling about this schedule when you look at this? When you look at this Eagles schedule, how do y'all feel about them? But yeah, this first, they're definitely gonna have their hands full that first 5 weeks, and then right to their week 9 bye, you got Green Bay, Detroit, and Dallas. That's another real rough stretch right there. So they're gonna have their hands full. Dart stinks. What do you mean? I am not high on Jackson Dart. You know this already. I didn't see anything impressive from him at Ole Miss. That's just me though. I was never high on him to begin with. But yeah, this is the Eagles schedule. Let's get ready to go to the let's see. He got the Eagles going 12-5, 13. I can see that for either or. And that's still a great season if you're the Eagles. But let's see what the Chiefs got. You know, they're coming off losing the Super Bowl, so I'm intrigued to see what the Chiefs are going to be dealing with out the gate. I actually have them losing to Kansas City. Kansas City going to be jacked up for that game. I think they're going to be jacked up for that game. But let's see. Let me bring up the Chiefs schedule on this stream. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. So, this is their preseason. Okay, here we go. So the Chiefs got an interesting schedule on their hands. They got several primetime games. So they start off on the road. Well, in Brazil, they go against the Chargers. This should be a very good divisional game to kick off. They got the Eagles at home week 2. They got the Giants in New York. They got Baltimore week 4. They get the Jaguars at Jacksonville. That's a Monday night game, I believe. Then they come back home, play the Detroit Lions. On Sunday Night Football, they got the Raiders at home. They got the Commanders on a Monday Night Football game. So the Chiefs got a lot of primetime games early. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. The Chiefs have 5 of their first 7 games in primetime. So they're going to be seeing a lot of Chiefs on national TV. They got a bye week, look like the week that we go to Berlin. They come off that bye. They got the Broncos at home. Oh, they're going to Denver, excuse me. They got the Colts at home. They got Dallas. I think that's Thanksgiving game at Dallas. Then they got another night game against the Texans at home. They get the Chargers at home. They go at Tennessee. They get the Broncos at home. Then they get the Raiders at the end. It looks like the Chiefs might have about 8 or they like half of their schedule may be primetime. So we'll see a lot of the Chiefs in primetime games. They might have the most primetime games of all teams, I think, at this point. So I'm intrigued to see how their schedule is going to go too. They got a lot of favorable games at home. You get to play the Commanders at home. You get to play the Eagles at home. You get to play the Ravens at home. You get to play the lot. They have a very favorable schedule depending on their home. You know, how can they hold down home field advantage, basically? Because going to Arrowhead is not an easy out. Chris, what's going on, bro? He said, go Commanders. KC may very well lose 5 games. It's possible, but I mean, they got the benefit of getting a lot of them games at home. So we'll see how it plays out for them. We'll definitely see how it plays out for them. I see another person asked me to bring up the New Orleans Saints schedule and the Commanders schedule. So I'm going to bring the Commanders first. Another one of the teams that was in that Final Four that lost to Philadelphia, one-way game away from the Super Bowl. They made a couple of moves. They got Deebo Samuels. Let's see. He said those 3 refs are no longer in the league, been demoted to cop. I mean, that don't mean that they don't cheat. They don't have the refs this year. I mean, we'll see. We will see. We will see. He said, don't do it. I mean, I'm saying. We got to see. Because it's until somebody, I got to see it. I got to see it to believe it right now. They can do it, though. They're probably still going to win the division. That man said the AC to go watch first take. Hey, man, leave the guys alone, man. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Okay, let me bring up the Commanders schedule real quick. This is another team that's going to be a very interesting one to watch with Jaden Daniels and company. Let's go to their schedule. So this is their graphic schedule. I'm going to go to the breakdown. Now we'll stay at the graphic. Okay, so they open the season at home against the Giants. They get a Thursday night home game, look like that is, or no, that's on the road. They go to Green Bay on the road. They get the Raiders at home. They come to Atlanta and go to the Chargers. Week 4 and week 5, so they're the other team. So we're playing the 7-15 game, that Monday Night Football game, and they're playing against the Bears at home. And you know that game ended on the Hail Mary that they won on. They get the Cowboys at Dallas. They go to the Chiefs. They get the Seahawks at home. They got the Lions at home. They get like they're going to be playing. They're going to be on the overseas against the Dolphins. They didn't get a bye. Now, how do they get a bye week and we don't get a bye week? Okay, whatever. Then they come off the bye and get the Broncos and the night game. They got the Vikings on the road. They got the Giants on the road. They got the Eagles at home. They get the Cowboys on Christmas Day at home. And then they go to Philadelphia. So their schedule is pretty, it depends. Because even they start the season off the victory against the Giants. They go to Green Bay. You don't know what Green Bay Packer team you're going to get. You get the Raiders at home. No, we have a week 5 bye. We have a week 5 bye week. If you go back and look at the official schedule, we have a week 5 bye. I've seen what your comments say. It's a week 5 bye week. We got the Falcons. They get the Chargers on the road. They go home against that Falcons. That stretch between the Falcons, Chargers, and Bears is not an easy stretch by any means. To get the Cowboys at Dallas, to get the Chiefs in Kansas City. So that stretch in between week 4 and week 9, well, really between week 4 and week 10, is not an easy stretch for the Commanders. So we'll see. They got to balance them out of games on the road. Getting the Chiefs and the Cowboys back-to-back on the road is a very interesting stretch. But I still think they're a capable roster of winning games. They get the Seahawks at home. They get the Lions at home. They get the Dolphins out overseas. They got to bye. Broncos at home. So I still think this is a playoff team. That team is really talented. Chris, what's going on, bro? He said he see 11-6. I can see 11-6 for the Commanders, which would be just as solid as a sophomore season for Jaden Daniels. So very, very interesting schedule for the Commanders. I do agree with you. I think they're a playoff team still this season. So let's go back to put myself on the screen. I know for some of the bros that are Saints fans, I'm gonna bring y'all schedule up. I know y'all frustrated with this team right now, but I'm gonna y'all asked me to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Let me put it up here real quick. Anybody else want to see your team schedule? Let me know. I'll bring it up here. Okay, let's go. Okay, we got the Saints schedule coming up on the screen. See what these guys are getting. Okay, so they're gonna be on the White is in home game. So the Saints will open up at home against the Cardinals, and then they get the 49ers at home. That's the first 2 weeks. They go on the road to Seattle. They got the Bills on the road. They get the Giants at home. They got the Patriots at home. They got the Bears on the road at Chicago. They got the Bucks at home. Then you get the Rams. You got the Rams at home. Then you got the Panthers, and you got to bye. The Saints got a lot of early home games that they're getting out the way. Then they got that's road games. Then they got to bye. Then the Falcons will come. They get the Falcons off the bye week. You get the Dolphins at Miami. You get Tampa at Tampa. You got Carolina at home. The Jets at home. The Titans on the road, and then you go to Atlanta the last week of the season. So interesting schedule for the Saints. They're in a weird situation right now, so we'll see what that team looks like. Well, boy, Chris Hill is 17. Oh my God, don't do the boys like that, man. Don't do the boys like that, man. But that's the Saints schedule as we get ready to stop talking about them. But I mean, the schedules are kind of balanced out so far from what I can see. But let me see, can I bring up these primetime games? That's the last thing I want to bring up before I get off of here. I appreciate y'all that tuned in. Like I said, I talked about the Falcons earlier in the stream. I'll come back at some point and give my prediction on their on the season. I don't want to do it tonight. I think it's way too early for me to sit here and say what I think this schedule, what I think the Falcons season is going to look like at the moment. Let's just see how that plays out. I'm trying to get to the primetime games. Let me bring up the Sunday night football. I think NBC has released it. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Trying to bring it up on the screen real quick. Okay, so Sunday night football, of course, we know Thursday night, they got the Thursday night game, the Eagles and the Cowboys. Week 1 is the Bills and the Ravens. Of course, the Falcons and the Vikings in week 2. The Chiefs go on the road, or is that a home? Yeah, the Chiefs go on the road to play the New York Giants. The Packers and the Cowboys week 4. You got the Patriots at Buffalo. You got the Lions and the Chiefs. You got the Falcons at San Francisco. You got the Packers at Pittsburgh. You got the Commanders hosting the Seahawks. You got the Steelers going to the Chargers. You got Lions Eagles as a Sunday night game. You got the Bucks going to the Rams. That's both teams that won the division last year in the NFC. You got the Bengals going to Baltimore. That should be a good game. I don't really know what we're going to see with the Bengals this year. You got the Broncos on the road at Washington. That's another great game. You got the Texans against the Chiefs. You got the Cowboys hosting the Vikings. You got the Dolphins hosting the Bengals. Peacock has their own exclusive that Saturday, so that hasn't been announced yet. You got the Niners hosting the Bears. Niners got a pretty decent amount of home games. And then week 18 is to be announced, of course. And they got the Super Bowl this year, so that's where the Super Bowl will be on. So those are the primetime games. Again, everybody's probably trying to get familiar with what their team schedule is. I know I got to get off here and get ready to see how to plan out my season because, of course, I'm a Falcons season ticket holder. But until next time, I'm wrapping this up. I will be back on here Friday with my Kings Court crew. I'll be back on to do sports soon, too. But until next time, this has been a little quick preview of the schedule. If you're a friend of mine on any social media platform, I'll be talking about the schedule. So top it up with me on there. Until next time, this has been a short episode of All In with Nate. Thank y'all for tuning in.